Hey everybody, welcome to the Former Athlete Society. As always, welcome back to this live accountability session. Now, you already know this. I'm Adam Ringler, and I'm on here on Zoom every Tuesday at this time, really trying to deliver some accountability lessons that you can apply to your performance, your health, your lifestyle to get the most out of what you do, right? So if you're tuning in, thank you. You're exactly who this is for. But if nobody shows up live, no worries. I got 5 fresh tactical new topics that we're going to dive head first into today. And each one is designed to help us be a little bit more consistent with our training, our nutrition, our performance, even after your eligibility is up. Now, we're going to unpack each topic with real life tactics, experience from over 20 years of being in this collegiate strength and conditioning space and the latest research. So I love that you're here. You're showing up for yourself. I appreciate that so much. Now, a couple different things regarding our accountability cause. My name is Adam Ringler. I'm a strength and conditioning coach. I have been one all of my professional career. And if you're just joining us, there's a couple different things I would ask you to do. I would love for you to like, subscribe, sign up for the notifications, so become part of our YouTube community, because we're building something here special with the Former Athlete Society, and I want you to be a part of it. Now, that said, I want to get into my first real world tactical issue, and that is swapping high GI carbohydrates for lower GIs, and why GI carbs, and why this is so important, especially for carb cycling, right? And you know what? I used to lean heavily on white rice and maybe sports drinks during my seasons, especially when I was an athlete. And it made sense then. For me, it was fast fuel equals fast performance. But the moment I stopped competing, that same approach backfired for me. And let me explain why swapping to lower GI carbs, like things like sweet potatoes, yams, steel cut oats, legumes, makes a massive difference now that I'm a little bit older, right? High GI carbs spike insulin, and it's usually followed by a crash. So for former athletes, that means your energy ends up dipping, right? You end up overeating, and you have this unstable blood sugar response because of the higher GI carbohydrates. Now, low GI carbs typically releases glucose more slowly, and that steadier energy helps with mood, satiety, and consistency. Now, in the science world, low GI carbohydrates improve your insulin sensitivity, mitochondrial efficiency, and those are 2 things that we certainly want well when we're into our 30s and 40s. Plus, when carb cycling, say low carbs on rest days and higher carbohydrates on training days, the low GI carbs smooth out those fluctuations. It's not about total calories as much as about the quality and the timing of those carbohydrates. So here's something I like to do. I keep a small mason jar mix of steel cut oats, some cinnamon, some chia seeds ready, and a day before a heavy lift, I toss in a little bit of fruit, a little bit of nut butter, and it's a low GI, steady fuel, and it's so easy on the gut. On recovery days, I go with more legumes and slower digesting carbohydrates. So balanced macros, I have minimal appetite swings, and that seems to work. And if you're still hitting white rice or bagels day in and day out, try replacing 1 serving per day with the lower GI choice, and track how your energy and craving changes over 2 to 3 weeks. That simple swap sets you up for better regulation and sustained performance. Now, you can find out more information. This is my Instagram. I'm at Adam Ringler. All my social medias are the same. So if you're finding this content interesting, I would ask you to head over there and follow me, right? So that you can get this information anytime. So let's talk about why VMO work is so important for achy and healthy knees as you're getting a little bit older. Quads are often the weak link in most aging athletes. Now, you can bench press till your face turns red, but if your VMO isn't firing properly, your patella isn't tracking right, that typically leads to pain, inflammation, and even early degeneration of that knee joint. So training your VMO takes a couple minutes each day, and it matters big time. During my time as a college coach, we noticed athletes with minimal VMO engagement were the ones that were constantly sidelined with patellofemoral knee pain. So we built in 3 to 4 sets of VMO specific work, like terminal knee extensions with the band, or split squat holds, or wall slides. Just a couple minutes each day at the end of the session improves that neuromuscular control. Now, the science tends to support it, right? Targeted VMO activation reduces lateral patella glide and improves that pain threshold. You can feel the difference within only a few weeks. And personally, I do 2 sessions a week, even as I'm getting older. My knees are fine, but I still like to do it. 2 sessions a week, banded terminal knee extensions, 3 sets of 20. I pause for 2 seconds at the end range, and then I do some wall slides with focus on medial quad contraction. It takes 5 minutes a day, but my knees feel so much better, and so do they when I'm out and about, running around, chasing my kids, doing things like that. So here's the real world tactic. At your next workout, close with maybe 2 single leg wall slides plus a banded TKE on each leg. Log it. And then even 1 monthly check-in, right? Ask yourself this: has your knee soreness changed? That small discipline typically translates to long-term joint resilience. I find it all the time. It affects almost everybody. Everybody that's done it has said, hey, Adam, this has helped my knee pain go away. They love it. So I want to talk about one thing about sustainability. Sustainability with your training, with your consistency, with your lifting, with your conditioning. But this one's particularly about conditioning. And this is why I choose rucking over running. Now, don't get me wrong. I have friends that say, hey, I went for a 5K, a 10K run. I still get that runner's itch sometimes. But what I've learned about myself is that over decades, I've learned that pounding the pavement does a number on my aging joints. Now, that's where I entered into rucking, hiking with a weighted backpack. For me, it gives me a cardiovascular stimulus. I just got off 25% incline treadmill for an hour straight of rucking. My heart rate was in my zone 2. And I do this stimulus with load and without the same joint stress of running. So biomechanically, rucking leads to a heel to toe gait, similar to running, but the contact forces are actually less intense. Now, I started swapping a few runs each week for 30 to 45 minute rucks with my 40-pound backpack from 5'11". My heart rate hits, zone 2 and mostly, sometimes zone 3. I sweat, my legs burn slightly, but my knees, my hips, my ankles feel fresher. Now, in college, we observed that athletes who rucked instead of ran had fewer overuse injuries and kept conditioning longer into the off season. Now, NCAA sports science backs this. Rucking improves VO2 max with lower injury risk. Another thing that's really cool about it is that in addition to it, we call them hot girl walks sometimes, that you can just get some low aerobic work and you can do this sort of zone 1, zone 2 type of work for almost infinity, and it improves your conditioning. So if you're itching to go for a run, sure, go ahead, but don't feel guilty if your knees whine after it, right? So try a 30-minute partnered ruck on gravel or a trail instead. You still get conditioning, caloric burn, time outdoors, sunshine, vitamin D, plus it's easy to pair with raising your step count goal, right? 2, 3, 4 miles, it adds up super fast. Now, if you're here and you're enjoying this material thus far, you can certainly head over to my website. It's adamringler.com. Here, I post articles all the time, videos. All of the links, all of my resources are at adamringler.com. I'd love for you to sign up and become a member, join our Former Athlete Society. You can jump into these calls live at any time that you want. Your questions go immediately to the top of the Q&As. Now, here's something that nobody sees in training. It's mental recovery. Now, former athletes often chase that social feed dopamine like they chase split times or mile times. But notifications and quick scrolls on TikTok and Instagram hijack your focus and your discipline. So I went cold turkey on Instagram notifications for 1 month. Right now, I never have any of my social media hit notifications to my phone. It's only when I want to check do I see my notifications on any social media platform. My phone became a tool. It wasn't a tether. My productivity jumped, my cortisol dipped, focus deepened, all my email notifications disabled, right? I check the email. I'm in control of my dopamine, not allowing that notification intake to actually hit me and interrupt my day and hijack my focus. Now, studies show that excessive social media use increases cortisol, decreases sleep quality, and performance-minded folks like us, we should remove those quick dopamine hits. Mute your notifications, right? Schedule do not disturb. Check only during windows where you've deemed this is my batch time to check social media or my email. What matters most is showing up. Now, that might be at the mat, at the table with real people, your family, the people you work with, whatever it is. I challenge you, turn off all your notifications. Maybe accept your calls from your real people, your text messages, sure. and track it, right? Do a 2-day test. Measure your stress, your sleep, your energy, your HRV, whatever it might be. That space that you carve out, that's yours to fill with training, with food prep, with recovery, with what matters to you. That's so important. Now, on this accountability call, I have one more thing I want to discuss, but before I do, just a couple different things. This is my YouTube channel. This is where I post all my strength conditioning, my sports science information. This is where I host the Former Athlete Society. I would love to have these numbers continue to rise, but I need your help. I need you to like, comment, share these videos with an athlete that you know, right? Let's allow us to help each other. Now, this last thing is about balancing cardio and lifting, right? Particularly around body composition changes. Now, cardio isn't the enemy of hypertrophy or muscle growth. The answer is balance. We need energy balance across two. So running marathons on low calories, you probably end up skinny and fatigued and maybe injured, really. But lifting without any cardio also means that you're missing a vital metabolic adaptation that comes through it. We need cardio to create caloric deficits, but not so much that protein synthesis wins the losing battle. So in my experience, I run or I hike or I ruck with 3 dedicated sessions, actually now 4. I upped my cardio a little bit here, getting into the late summer push, to 4 dedicated sessions. I do Tuesday, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. I do that for an hour long straight in my zone 2 heart rate, right? Now, in addition to that, I also lift Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right? And I attack those lifting sessions because I need some hypertrophy. I need to keep the muscle mass, the lean muscle mass that I'm trying to build without compromising my lifts and the muscle that I'm carrying on my frame. Now, I do that, but I also then slow dose in a little additional rucking immediately afterwards to get a little bit more of a caloric burn. I do that, again, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 30 minutes. I've now upped it to 35 minutes. Now, the current research says keeping cardio sessions under 50% of your VO2 max and less than an hour prevents interference. And spacing your cardio after weight sessions also helps your recovery. So one week I ate at maintenance. I did all of my rucking and I saw body fat improvements within 2 weeks, right? You can too. That's the great thing. You can see these changes. You just got to be consistent. You have to track your weight weekly, adjust your cardio up or down based on what you're seeing, right? The moving number based on your body composition trends, not just your random feel. And you also have to track your macros. I know exactly the calories I'm consuming each week. It's a math equation for me. It's not an emotional one. Now, if you are loving this content, these accountability calls that I host every single Tuesday at this time, again, you know where to sign up. I would love for you to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you get full-time access and real-time access to this material. I would love for you to be part of our community and continue to jump in, share these videos with your friends, your coworkers, maybe a former athlete that you know, a teammate, or somebody like that. So wrapping all of this up, these are my 5 accountability points for this week, and we can use them immediately. That's a cool thing. Each one is tactical, it's attainable, it's protocol driven. You don't need radical change in your day. You just need consistency and tracking. Now, I'll share this video inside of our community, right, in our Former Athlete Society, but I want to hear from you. I need you to help me out here, right? Not only hit the notification bell, but I need you to comment and say, what did you change? It's one thing if I'm just talking at you. What did you actually change? What swap did you make first? What feels doable tomorrow, right? What are you going to do tomorrow to make this change? So let's keep this momentum going. Record your actions this week. Share it with us. Let me know in the comments of this video so that we can all stay honest and sharp. And then, as always, thank you for making this a place, a special place where the former athlete in you stays alive. You owe it to yourself to do those things. I'll see you next time. We have a Q&A call this upcoming Thursday. So whether it's Zoom, whether the Zoom video is packed or it's just me, I'll keep showing up for you. You keep showing up for yourself. Until next time, y'all.